In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to create a new query in Clear Analytics. A new query will be leveraging the data elements which we imported via the Data Manager. To create a new query, we first click on the repository button in the Clear Analytics ribbon. That will bring up this pane here on the right hand side. Here you can see our public, shared and private space. I'll create a new query which will always be created under private. So down here you can see all the elements which we had created in the Data Manager earlier. So here are all the data elements in the detail and header folder. So first I'm just going to give this query name a name, and I'll just call that sales analysis. And I'm now going to pick a bunch of fields which I would like in this query. Now in this case I'm just going to pretty much grab everything from the header folder, but I'll just uncheck one or two items here which I don't see much value in, so I'll just uncheck a handful of these IDs. And under details I'll pretty much just grab everything from here. Now if I'm curious to see what the underlying query looks like by selecting these items, I can hit the SQL button here. And this is what Clear Analytics has dynamically generated. But let's just go and see what the output data looks like. So I can flip over to the Preview tab and pick the number of rows I would like to bring back as a sample, and just hit the Preview button. By doing so, we'll be submitting that query to the database and bringing that result set back for us to then review. Okay, so I'm just going to hit A1 here and double click on the table, which will just render all of the information onto the sheet. And so here is all the data which has come back from the database, and I can now review that data set and just make sure that it pretty much contains everything I would like for this query. And I can always go back and add extra columns or remove columns, and I can also filter the data which I'm looking at. So let's say for example I would like to filter out some of the names which I'm seeing here. So what I can do is navigate to the name and just drag it down into this filter area here, and let's say I would like to filter out anything with the name chain. So what I'll do is just copy that, change the operator to not in, and just paste chain in here. And I'm going to make this particular filter a hidden filter, which basically means that nobody else can change that value if they include this query in a report. And we can expand on that a little later. Another feature I'd like to demonstrate is the formula builder. So you can click on this icon here, and this will bring up a formula builder dialog box. And so within here, let me just give the name of the formula, which is full name. And in this particular case, I would just like to have the concatenation of last name, comma, and first name. And to see the list of all of the filters we have available, let me just select this as text. You can just click on this link down here and we'll explain all of the formulas available. So I've just hit the validate button and that's all looking good. Just hit OK. If you scroll to the bottom, you can see the formulas are all listed below. So now I've added my filter and a formula. I'm just going to rerun the preview. This will now refetch the data from the database based on our updates, and also add that formula to the data set as well. Okay, so now as our data is already on the sheet, we can just hit the apply button to refresh everything. And here you can see that chain is no longer part of the result set. And if I navigate here all the way to the right, you can see the full name field which has been added to the end. So now I'm pretty happy with my query. I'm just going to save it and close the panel. You can now see the query is in my private domain space, and if I had the team edition, I can drag and drop it into shared and specify the roles and individuals I'd like to share the report to. And in our later video, I'll demonstrate how you can now incorporate these queries into a report.